Okay, so good morning everyone. So good morning. So
Good morning,
ngayong
ma'am.
yes, good morning. Ngayong umagang ito ang magpe-present sa atin about wealth seminar management. Let's welcome si Miss Eid, one of my international market one of my international property specialists for Team EBP under Sir Jack Realesa. So let's welcome her.
Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Miss Edibeth.
morning.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
everybody. Good morning, Sir Jack. And I think we have our guest here. Good morning, Sir Brian, Sir Bry, and Sir Jerves. Good morning po. Okay, good morning. So I think this is a very small group, but still let's make it engaging and fun and full of fruitful so that we can learn new things today. So good morning again, everybody, and welcome to our wealth management webinar for today. Now, the title of our wealth management webinar today is Build Your Financial Intelligence. Maybe you're wondering why is this the title of our webinar today? Because it is actually geared toward to the ultimate guide to real estate investing. So I'm sure you're all here today not only to to talk about properties but to talk about real estate investing. So as early as now, because you are here today, I would like to congratulate each one of you for taking a step to level up your skills and knowledge in real estate investing. So if you've been invited by someone today, maybe Sir Bry or Sir Jerves, maybe you've been invited by someone, maybe you could also thank this person for inviting you, because we are really going to learn a lot of new things today. And of course, congratulate yourself, because this is one step towards, creating a great future for yourself. So, of course, before I start, I'm going to introduce also myself. Again, my name is Maria Id Nieva Pimentel. I'm one of the international property specialists under Team EDP and under Sir Jack. So, just to give you a short background, I know my name is very long, but just to cut it short, to make it short, you can just call me Eid. Ayan, para maikli lang. Yan. You can call me Eid for short. So again, I'm one of the international property specialists, and I just want to give a quick background about myself. So just like you guys who are there in the US, I've also worked in the US for 3 years, and I've been going back and forth there in the US and here in the Philippines. And now I've decided to pursue this career because I'm one of those person na, I wish I knew this a little sooner when I was just starting to work abroad. So one of the reasons why I work here as an international property specialist, I also take this job as a missional job, because I also want to impart the knowledge that I've learned into real estate investing to those people who are like me before. I know that, some of our family or friends, maybe they're just thinking na you're just living your life there in the US. But in reality, we are really working hard abroad, because I myself experienced that. And it would really take hard work in order for us to get a decent job there in the US. And of course, all our money, our hard-earned money, and um, as the good guys, as we all know that that's our tagline. We don't want to put all your hard work into waste. That's why we are conducting this to people who are working really hard, just like you guys there in the US. So the goal of our team is for you to become better and smarter investor. Maybe when I started talking right here, right now in our webinar, maybe you were thinking, okay, Eid will just sell me a condominium because she's from SMDC. No, we don't want that. We are here for you. We are doing this kind of webinar to meet you even virtually for now, for you to become better and smarter investor. We're just not here to sell properties, but we also want to teach you how to invest your hard-earned money into something that will create a good future for all of you. Because I know as OFW, one of the, actually this, I think this is the top one that sometimes we tend to forget. We tend to forget about investing because the tendency when we work abroad, the tendency is really to overwork. And and when we finally have a chance to come back in the Philippines, we just tend to splurge everything that we have for our family, right? Agree ba tayo dyan? Yung mga taga-US natin. If you agree with me, maybe you can react a thumbs up or a heart. Sometimes we tend to forget about ourselves. And I myself experienced that when I was still working in the US. I would come back here in the Philippines and I wouldn't care if I would spend $500,000 just to have my family with me in a grand vacation. And it's not bad at all to think of our family when we go on a vacation, but it's not also bad at all to think now for your future, to think of yourself for this time. You need to think of yourself also and think about your future, and that is our main goal tonight. So I'm very excited to share with you because this is also personal for me because I've been there. I've worked there for 3 years, as I've said, and I work in Miami. Most of the time I spend my work in Miami for Norwegian Cruise Line. So I stayed with that company for 3 years for their entertainment department. And now I'm very happy because I'm also sharing this with OFWs just like me before. So, excited na ba tayo? I hope you're all excited. Pwede bang pa-react naman ako before we finally start? Ayan, if you're excited, maybe you can show me some heart, show me some love, show me some thumbs up. Because me, I'm so excited also to share this with you. So, just to show you, or just before I tell you my main point about this webinar, I wanted to show and let you watch this video. So I came across this viral video. It was like millions of views in a very famous social media platform here in the Philippines and also there in the US. It's from TikTok. So this video is actually from a guy. His content is he would roam around his city in the US and eye on those people who own luxury cars. And what he would do is to stop them and just quickly ask them, what do you do for a living? So that is his content. So that is his content, and people would watch his videos because it's out of curiosity, what do these people do? Why do they own these grand cars, these luxury cars? So ayan, without further ado, let's all watch and enjoy this quick video.
What do you do for a living?
Steel.
Steel? Okay. What do you do for a living?
I've seen your video.
You seen it?
I hope you have audio. May audio po ba? Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Are you doing from TikTok?
Yeah.
I follow you. Roofing and real estate.
Roofing and real estate?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I love the car.
Thanks, bro.
What do you do for a living?
I have 6 companies.
6 companies?
Yes.
What kind of field?
Software development for Fortune 500 companies and government agencies to real estate title extraction for national title firms.
Wow. Congrats. What do you do for a living?
Private equity.
Private equity? Nice car, man. Excuse me, man. What do you do for a living?
Pretty much real estate.
Real estate?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Sick car. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
What do you do for a living?
Jokes.
What do you do for a living?
What?
What do you do for a living?
Real estate.
Excuse me. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm actually unemployed.
Excuse me. What do you do for a living?
Retired.
Okay. Excuse me. What do you do for a living?
What's up?
What do you do for a living?
Real estate company.
Yeah, I know.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that very quick video. If you have TikTok, maybe you came across that video already. So again, this guy was actually asking those people what do they do in for a living because they own this luxury car. So just before I tell you my main point, these people as you've seen in the video, more than half of them is doing real estate. That is why they're enjoying that kind of life. They own luxury cars, and it seems like, as you can see, as you've seen in the video, it seems like that they are really enjoying their lives because they're doing this kind of business. So my main point here is that real estate or properties, when invested or done right, it can definitely set up you for life. So this is the kind of investment that you would want to do so that you can enjoy that kind of life that those people who are having. So maybe in the future, if you've decided to do this business and invest in real estate after learning all of this, maybe I can do a content also on my TikTok, and maybe I will, feature one of you some of these days and hopefully you'll be able to have that kind of future also, because that's our main goal. Even me, for myself, that is also my goal, to be able to enjoy that kind of life. So again, real estate or properties, when invested or done right, it can set you up. It can definitely set you up for life. And now maybe you're wondering, yes, Eid, I agree. Kasi yun nga, that's even from the US. They're enjoying their life. They're owning those luxury cars because they're doing real estate. But paano ko naman gagawin yun? How? Paano? In Tagalog, paano? How am I going to do that? I am a regular employee here in the US. I only have fixed income. I have a full-time job, 9 to 5 working hours. Sometimes I need to juggle multiple jobs here just, so that I can enjoy, a lot of income. Kasi I know in the US, there's a lot of side jobs. Even me, when I was still there, I used to work in the entertainment department in the night, but during the morning, if I've been in that place already, I would join the short excursion department just to help them with their tour project so I can earn extra income. So sometimes we don't really have enough time to do anything at all, because aside from having a 9 to 5 working hours job, we also have side hustles, we also have side jobs. And I think most of you will agree with me, especially when you're there in the US. It's very normal to have multiple jobs. And the last thing is we have expenses to pay. We have a family waiting for, our remittances to be sent in the Philippines. And that is one of the realities here in our country. Our family is waiting for us because we're there. We're earning more than what the other people are earning here in the Philippines. And if you agree with me, maybe you can show me another thumbs up. That's right? Kasi I've been there. And that is exactly what's happening to all our OFWs, our hardworking OFWs in different countries. So paano nga ba? If this is you, you don't have to worry, because that is why I'm doing this wealth management webinar. Because this is not only to give you advice on what to do with your money, but in fact, I am going to give you a step-by-step guide. This is going to be fast. This is going to be, quick. It's just 3 steps, but I want you to pay attention, because these 3 steps is very important when you are really interested in investing in real estate. So if you have like notes maybe on your phone, or you have a pen or your paper, maybe you can write it down, because this is very important. So again, I will give you a step-by-step guide. This is only 3 steps, guys, in order to achieve that kind of future that you've seen in the video. So how? So let's go to the first step already. So the first step that we need to do in order to have a successful real estate investment is, of course, first evaluate where you are right now. Where you are right now. You're in the US, I'm in the Philippines. No, it's not like that. Okay, I'm just kidding. Where you are right now financially, because we're talking about investment. Of course, we're talking about money, because we cannot do investment without money. So you need to evaluate where you are right now financially. Now, maybe you'll be asking me, but Eid, how am I going to do that? Should I check my bank account now and check how much money do I have? No, you don't need to do that. the step that you need to do to evaluate where you are right now financially is to first identify your active income. For sure, you'll be able to have this pop on your mind quickly. Active income is the short-term or one-time income, bonuses, incentives, long-term income. In short, it's your salary. If you have side jobs, if you have commission-based side jobs, this is it. This is your active income. This is called the active income. Now, I'll give you 2 minutes so that you can have you can have digits on your mind. How many dollars is it? How much is my active income? Now, when you already have that numbers, when you already have that active income, now you need to figure out or try to think about your disposable income. Now, what is this disposable income? So from your active income, you are now going to try to less all the expenses that you have. Your remittances to your family, your rent there in the US, your cost of living, food, etc., everything else. So all your expenses just try to, let's, for example, try to do it on a monthly basis, okay? So from your active monthly income, now try to less all the expenses that you have. For example, I'm earning $2,000 and estimate maybe my expenses are around $400. So your disposable income now is $1,600. So this is the money that you have the right to do whatever you want to do with it, okay? Money that you can either spend or save. And it is a reality that OFWs, they tend to just splurge it during vacation, just like me. Working for 3 years abroad, going back and forth, I would just splurge it to my family because, it's not bad at all. But, this time, think about yourself, think about your future, okay? So it can either be spent or save. Now, if you already have that, figure, let's take, for example, $1,600 for my disposable income. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the second step. So you've already know where you are financially right now. Now we go to the second step. The second step now is to capitalize on your current employment to secure your future. What does it mean? We're going now to take advantage of your employment with what you're earning right now so that you can secure your future. Paano naman yun, Eid? Okay? So we already have our figure for our disposable income. And what we want to achieve is that your disposable income will be converted into an income-generating investment. How? We are going, of course, to invest it. And as we all know, we have a lot of investments that we can put it in this world. We have money market funds, mutual funds, stock market, and of course, I'm talking about real estate. So with this three funds or three income generating investment, the money market funds, the mutual funds, stock market, maybe some of you already have this kind of investment. And if you do, maybe you can give me again a thumbs up. Me, I have this kind of investments also, and it's not bad to have this kind of investment. So if you do, just give me a thumbs up maybe. If you have this kind of investment, you're trying to explore stock market, mutual funds, money market funds. Now, these three is good also, but I want to tell you that these three investment are in a portfolio. What does it mean, Eid? Ano ba? Hindi ba maganda mag-invest dito? It's not bad, but these three are actually anchored to a performance of a certain company that you're investing to. Okay? For example, I've tried stock market. Okay, year 2019, I have disposable income and I wanted to invest it into something. Now I've decided to go into stock market and I've looked into the largest corporation in the world and I saw Starbucks Corporation. Now, come 2020, we didn't know that pandemic will happen. So what happened to my stocks? Now, after the pandemic, Starbucks needed to close a lot of branches and that greatly affected my investment. Okay, so it is anchored to a certain performance of a company. We don't have any hold of that. We cannot control it. It's gonna depend entirely to the performance of the company that you're investing to. And today, I am going to show you so that you can appreciate why real estate is the best option for income generating investment. So, income generating investment now will be converted to a passive income when it comes to real estate. So passive income, what does it mean? These are earnings from the word itself, passive investment or enterprise, which does not require active participation. And this is like a music to our ears, right? Does not require active participation. I have I'm working 12 hours a day. How am I supposed to do a business? This one does not require active participation at all. And I know you're all excited to hear this now. So real estate as now an income generating investment. Now let me show you now an illustration why real estate is the best option for an income generating investment. So this is a very simple illustration of real estate as an income generating investment. Okay, number one, as you can see on the first circle, real estate is a 100% tangible asset. What does it mean? Tangible asset meaning once you've invested into a real estate, meaning it's tangible. You can enjoy it, you can see it, you can touch it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. It also has an inherent value. You can have it, owned by your future kids or the future generations of your family. And the property value and capital appreciation, it has a yearly growth. It's 7 to 10.68%, and that is really a big rate. Why? Why is it? Property value and capital appreciation. Now, if we try to look back when we are, growing as adults, when we are still kids, when we were born in your city. Personally, I am from Cavite, and when I was born in Cavite, up until now, I'm already 30 years old. It's the same land size of Cavite. So maybe try to think about that. God already stopped making lands, but people are continuing making babies, okay? The population keeps on growing. And of course, housing is a basic need of a human. Nasaan yan? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We need that. It is essential. So the more that we have a need for something, the more it grows when it comes to value and appreciation. That is why with real estate, it doesn't depreciate. It always appreciates because there is a continuous need for it. Population is growing, the land is still the same. People will continue to have a need for a housing because, of course, we're gonna have our own family soon, and we don't want the whole clan to stay in one house. We need our own. That is why it continues to appreciate and it continues to grow. Now we have here the third one, the rental yield. It's at 4 to 6%, and maybe you have an idea already why. Rental yield is high because it's a sad reality also in the Philippines that, of course, there's a continuous need of, housing, but the sad reality is most of the people here in the Philippines cannot afford to buy one because of our earnings here in the Philippines. And we are privileged enough, we are very lucky, we are blessed enough to have the opportunity to work abroad and to earn more money than the usual paying salary here in the Philippines. That's why a lot of OFWs, they are the one who can really afford it. And we don't want you guys to miss this opportunity. You have the power to do it. Why not do it now? So the rental yield is high because in reality, a lot of families cannot afford to buy houses. So the last option that they have is, of course, to rent. And people who can buy properties are enjoying this benefit because they are earning from the rental of these families. So if you add this all up, this real estate income generating investment will definitely create wealth and passive income. How? So first is the capital appreciation. It's gonna create your wealth. And we all know that the properties, the price of the properties keeps on growing, and it's gonna create your wealth. Just for example, maybe you bought a property year 2010 and right now it's 2021 already. After 21 years, how do you think is the price? I'm very sure you have an idea with this because there's a saying nga in real estate, diba? The best time to buy to buy a property is 5 years ago because it continues to grow. Sometimes monthly nag-i-increase yan. So it's gonna create your wealth. And then for the passive income, of course, it's going to be the rental yield because as people, rent on your property, you're going to create your cash flow and passive income. But at the end of the day, the property is yours and it's gonna create your wealth in the future. Maybe if you've decided to buy a property and have it rented for, let's say, 5 years lang. After 5 years and you've decided, I want this big chunk of money so that I can enjoy life, then just sell your property. It's gonna create your wealth. That is the beauty of real estate investment. Now, to better appreciate what I'm saying, I'm going to show you real figures right here from our project. So this illustration is from our location for some of our projects because we have a lot of projects. So we've just chosen 4 locations. We have in MOA, Makati, Ortigas, and Quezon City. And I want you all now, guys, to look at the last column. So as you can see on the last column, it is indicated the average increase per year, and the most conservative number that you can see there is 9%, which is really big. Imagine just having your hard-earned money in the bank, how much it will earn, less than 1%. If I'm going to invest it in stocks, I don't know. There's a lot of things happening in the world. I don't know what's gonna happen to this big corporation, and I don't want my money to put into waste. So here it's tangible, 9%, it's really high. Actually, if some Chinese businessmen, when they are going to look into a business, when they're going to invest into a business, this is like a tradition for, long-time business tycoons, okay? If it's less than 7%, then it's not a good investment at all. And here, with real estate, this is just the most conservative number, 9%. We can see here 12%. So just to better appreciate it, let's take, for example, the first one, our projects in MOA, Mall of Asia Complex. It was launched 2008 for 85,000 per square meter. Now, its actual latest price is at 288,000 per square meter. Can you see the difference? 203,000 yung tinaas ng value ng property. And it's only what? How many years only? And it will continue to grow. Kasi nga, there's a continued development in our country, plus there's a continuous need. So that is why it's very high. And now let's take a look of the rental income. Kasi nga we have, two main things. One is the wealth. It's going to create your wealth, and it's going to give you passive income. For the passive income, of course, it will be coming from the rental income. It's going to be the same example, location, MOA, Makati, Ortigas, Quezon City. This is just an example of the average rate per month and per day. Now, with MOA, look, it's at 45,000 per month. And you will not even have a hard time looking for a tenant or a client. Why? Because MOA is surrounded by international companies. There's expats, there's BPO, and they will all opt to stay in a place where their workplace is near. And they would always choose to rent. Kasi nga, the traffic here is very bad. If if you're gonna spend your vacation here, isa to sa mga problema natin ay yung traffic. Sobrang traffic. That's why people will, opt to rent na lang instead of coming back and forth from their house to their workplace. So this is just the average rate per month. And I must say that this rate is conservative na guys. Cause, ayun nga, patuloy itong tumataas. It's gonna continue to grow. The more developments, the more BPO, there's a lot of construction going there. And as soon as matapos to, and as soon as there's development on these constructions, it's gonna go higher and higher and higher. Now, on the second column, we have here the rate per day. Why did I put this? Because you also have the option to have your property to be rented on a daily basis. How? You're gonna put it on Airbnb, or you're gonna post it online. You're gonna get maybe your family to have it, look for clients, and you don't have to worry because, as you can see, these locations are prime locations. Why is it the rate per day is also good? Because, for example, okay, let's take, for example, again, MOA. It's a 3,000 per day. Now, if I want to spend my weekend in Manila, I wouldn't spend 15,000 in Okada. I would just book an Airbnb at 3,000. And 3,000 a day is not bad at all. Imagine if you have a family member, or you have a sibling, or you have, you have your parents. Okay, you can stay there in the property, enjoy the amenities, enjoy the view, enjoy the peace, and they're gonna use it for Monday to Friday, and then coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're gonna have it seen in Airbnb, and it's going to give you an average of 3,000 per day, and it's 9,000 per month, right? It's 9,000 per week, and 9,000 times 4 is like how much? 36,000 in a month, and it's not bad at all. Just to have it rented in a daily basis during weekends only, and your family can even enjoy the property also. So you have these two options now, and that is again the beauty of real estate. And another illustration to show you guys. I know you're appreciating now how good real estate is, but I wanted to show you this historical investment data, okay, about the ROI of the real estate market. So on the first column, we can see the average property prices in Asia. This is for the whole Asia. And let's try to find Philippines. I want you all now to look at the illustration and try to look for Philippines. Philippines is at the bottom, fourth to the last. Ayan, you can see how low is it, okay? So this is property prices, meaning the properties in the Philippines compared to other countries is actually very cheap already. Not like in Hong Kong. I've been in Hong Kong. Staying in Hong Kong or trying to look for a property in Hong Kong is almost impossible. We have a lot of kababayans there who's working there, majority of their lives already, working for 20 years already, but still they cannot afford to buy a property in Hong Kong. Why? Because it's very high. Napakamahal po ng property in Hong Kong, in Japan, also in Singapore. It's very, very expensive. Unlike here in the Philippines, it's nothing compared to the prices of other countries. Now, when you look at the second column, we can see the average rental yields in Asia. And makikita nyo, nasa top 2 na tayo. And how amazing is that, right? Top 2 Philippines, from being fourth to the last in prices. Now, in average rental yield, we are top 2. Why? Because as I've said, a lot of international companies choose Philippines because we're all hardworking. A lot of business owners in the US, in Europe, they would choose Philippines. I will put up my business in the Philippines. And the tendency is people who are working for that company will rent. Especially here in the Philippines, we have only a business district area, which is in the metro, and a lot of people are coming from the south, and again the traffic is crazy, so for sure they will opt to rent. And that is why this is a historical investment data. This is the reality. The rental yield in Asia, Philippines is in top 2. So if you're going to invest in real estate, you don't need to worry about looking for clients, because there is a huge chunk of market that you can saturate if you just look into this business. Now that we've already identified where you are, and then you've decided already, okay, Id, I'm convinced I'm going to invest in real estate because that is really a good business. So now we're going to go to the step 3. And guys, this is the last step that we need to take in order for us to have a successful real estate investment. Number 3 now is to strategize on how will you position yourself in the market. You are owning this property now, so you need to strategize. And these are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major questions, okay? Maybe you can take a screenshot of it or take note of this or think already while I'm explaining where do you position in the market. Number 1, is it going to be long-term versus short-term? Will I have enough time to have it, if I invest in real estate, well, I'm going to, invest it in long-term, which is maybe 20 years, I'm going to have it rented. Or you also have the option to have it short-term. Short-term meaning, okay, after maybe 5 years, I'm going to flip my property. Flipping, what does it mean? It means that you're going to buy property and then you're just going to wait for a couple of years and then just sell it so that you can have this big chunk of money from the capital appreciation. So long-term versus short-term. Short-term. Do I see myself in this kind of business for 20 years or only 5 years? It's up to you. It's going to be your strategy. This is going to be personal, but don't worry because we're going to guide you step by step once you've decided to invest on this beautiful investment. Okay, number 2, is it am I going to buy pre-selling property or ready for occupancy? Now maybe you're thinking, how do I decide about this pre-selling versus ready for occupancy? Maybe in your mind it's just pre-selling is mura, it's very cheap, and ready for occupancy, it's kind of high in terms of price. Now with pre-selling, yes, the capital appreciation will be big because the price will continue to grow because it is a continuous development, okay? And of course, when it's still developing, we can, stretch a little bit the price or the payment terms of that property. Now, if you're looking at, oh no, I want to start this business right away and I have money. Now for RFO, it's not that big. It's not that a big difference, okay? Because this is one of the misconception. For ready for occupancy, it's kind of high because the property is already ready. Meaning you can enjoy the property after 3 months of paying it. And you can already start bringing it in the market and try to find, tenants or expats or have it Airbnb. So that's the difference, okay? Pre-selling versus ready for occupancy. Pre-selling, you're willing to wait until it grows and it grows. Ready for occupancy, you want to enjoy it right away. And you have the capacity to pay for a shorter term, okay? The third one is, what is my target market? I am going to explain it to you one by one. What is my target market? What are the kinds of target market when it comes to real estate investment? We have expats. That's the number 1. Actually, that's what I'm eyeing if, once I've already have my, first investment. Expat is really good. Sometimes they pay in chunk. They already lease for a year. Then we have the PPOs, the young professional, the students, and we also have the vacationers for the daily rental. Okay. Now these are the kinds of target market, and I'm going to show you still. I'm going to show them still later on. Okay. And the fourth question: how will I package my unit? What does it mean, Id? Anong package? How will I package my unit? So you're going to strategize. Am I going to have it rented bare? Wala akong ilalagay na gamit. Or I'm gonna do DIY. I'm going to spend a vacation for some time and just try to design my unit. How will I package my unit? So that is it. So the difference of this now is that when you package your unit, of course, if it's fully furnished, then it's going to be in a higher price. Now, if you're going to have it rented in a bare situation, now you need to have it lesser, and then your tenants will, of course, some of them don't want to, spend time buying, or sometimes they have already their appliances. So this is one of the strategies that you need to look into. How will I package my unit? And lastly, how can I maximize my property? And that is what we're going to talk about now. Now, real estate, cash flow, and how to maximize it. Okay, so now we're done with the 3 steps, and now you're thinking, okay, I'm convinced now, Id, I'm going to invest in real estate because I have enough disposable income to invest on it, and I want to start building up a good future for me, and I want to think of for myself this time. So how are you going to maximize it? Id, real estate, it means a lot. There's a lot of kind of real estate. We have house and lot, and I'm going to explain to you one by one, okay? So there are different types of properties, different types of real estate, okay? First is the house and lot. Bakit hindi house and lot ang pipilian ko? Let me tell you why. We are working abroad, and kahit yung sarili kong room when I was working in the US, I didn't even have time to maintain my own room. So with house and lot, most of the people tend to invest in house and lot. But you know what? It's gonna cost you a lot of money, because with house and lot, your target market here will be, of course, a family. It's gonna be wear and tear. You own that property, so you are accountable for that property, for the maintenance, everything. You need to even get someone who will look into your house when you're abroad, and you're not sure what's happening in that house. If you're gonna fully furnish this house for rent, if you're gonna package it for a fully furnished house and lot, then it's gonna cost you a lot of money too, and it's not ideal for people who are away from the Philippines. House and lot, it's wear and tear, it takes time, it would consume a lot of your time, your energy, and money. Now for residential lot, of course, if you're going to invest in a residential lot, of course, it's still gonna appreciate. But what is the catch on this one? Of course, you need to put up a house. And how are you going to have it rented if it's, only a lot? And next is farm lot. Farm lot is also good, but this one is good for retirees who wants to be far away. And, most of the farm lot properties that are available for sale is, on this, very far places, Sambales, Silang. And with farm lot, if you're going to invest in a farm lot and you're working abroad, it's not ideal at all. Why? Because you need to pay for someone who will take care of your farm lot. You need to strategize what kind of fruits, what kind of crops should I put into this farm, and we don't know. There's a lot of things happening. There may be typhoon, and in an instant, all the investment that you did for this farm lot can be washed away with natural calamities. Okay, and the last one here is the commercial space. Commercial space, why? This is a very limited investment, kasi most of the commercial space available for sale here in the Philippines are already owned by big companies, and it's very expensive. Plus, just like the situation we're having right now, a lot of commercial spaces are empty because we're in quarantine, and there's not actually a need. We realize that, having commercial spaces, it's not a need at all. Now, I'm going to talk about condominiums. Okay, this is the biggest picture here in the illustration, because this is what I want you guys to appreciate. Bakit condominium ang pipiliin ko, Id? Ayoko ng condominium. Gusto ko may lupa rin ako. Kasi most of the time we think like that. I don't want condominium kasi it's better to have house and lot na. So why condominiums? Why am I going to choose condominiums? So number one reason, there's a lot of reason, but I'm only going to give you 5 main reasons. Number one, it's always in an attractive location, okay? All condominiums, especially SMDC, they are in prime location, okay? And let's take for example a condominium in Makati. Just imagine buying a house and lot property in Makati. How much it's gonna cost you to become officially a Makati citizen because a lot of people wants to get a residency from Makati, and this is a great option because in Makati there's actually a lot of benefits that would come from the government if you're a resident. So a lot of people are eyeing on this project. So attractive locations, you can go and buy your property in a prime location just by investing this amount of money. Okay. And since the properties are located in an attractive prime location, you're going to have a diversified target market. Now, let's take, for example, this picture right here is one of our newest project. This is pre-selling, and I want you guys to look into this because this property and this investment, if you're going to invest for this property, it's really good. Why? This property, Light 2, it is located in EDSA Boni, just few minutes, maybe few steps only from the MRT station. It is in the middle of all the business district. It is accessible to anywhere. Makati, MOA, Manila. It is like in the heart of the city. It's in the middle. And it's pre-selling right now. And you have diversified target market. This location is full of BPO companies, international companies, expats are all around. So you will have a diversified target market. Plus, it's also near to university. So you can also target students. You can also target vacationers because some of the vacationers, they want to enjoy the scenery of the metro, and Light 2 will give you that. Next is, the third one is, it's easier to package. Why? You know, as I've said, how will I package my unit? Again, I would suggest to have it fully furnished, and it's very easy to package. You know, when it comes to condominium, because the space is just enough for you to to customize it. You can even do DIY to your properties. It's very easy to package. And number 4, it's lower expenses. Why? Bakit lower expenses, Ed? Nasa condominium ako. I think pag nasa condo ako, mas malaki yung expenses na ilalabas ko. Why is it lower expenses? Because with condominiums, you don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about the facade of your property. Because with condominiums, it is already managed by a property management that will, maintain all the amenities, everything in your property will be handled professionally, and you don't need to worry. Even though you're in the US, you don't need to worry at all when it comes to condominium. Plus, it has a safety net. So the cash flow from your condo property creates more opportunity. Why? Because as time goes by, once you've decided to invest, you're earning passive income, you're earning 45,000 monthly already from that investment. Then it's gonna give you more opportunity to invest more property, so that imagine it's gonna be a domino effect. You have 45,000, and then the 45,000, since I'm still working here in the US, I'm going to invest it again. I'm going to get another property, and it's gonna triple, and it's gonna triple, and it's gonna give you safety, it's gonna give you freedom, it's gonna be faster for you to achieve that kind of lifestyle that I've shown you in the video. And it's very exciting for all of you guys. So all of that, of course, you can get with your SMDC property investment, and that is why we're here for you. We are here today. We are from SMDC, and that is why we are called the good guys, because we don't just sell property. I will not just come to you and say, "Uy, buy a property kasi you can afford it." No, it's not like that. We want you to, wisely use your hard-earned money, because I've experienced that. It's hard-earned money, and we don't want to put that into waste. We want to have it invested in the right investment, and it is only SMDC property investment. So why SMDC? Why am I going to choose SMDC? Ang dami namang developers dyan eh. Why SMDC? Okay, I'm convinced I'm going to invest in real estate, but how are you going to convince me to get a property with SMDC? So SMDC is actually, I think you all know this because from the letters itself, SMDC, it is owned by SM Investments Corporation. Now, SMIC or SM Investment Corporation is actually the first Philippine conglomerate to breach 1 trillion in market. So this is a very big company. We have 3 major businesses. We have banking. You all know BDO. You all know China Bank. And of course, you're all familiar with SM. And we have properties. We have SM Supermalls. And this is where we are, SMDC. We also have hotels and conventions and a lot more. You know, we just don't compete in the market because we're always number 1. And number 1, yung number 2 doesn't even come close to our numbers, okay? So we just don't compete in our market. We dominate the market here in the Philippines. And this is where you're going to invest into a company that has trillions of money. And it will surely provide all the things that you need, all the things that we're going to promise. We can assure you that we are going to give that to you because we are a big company and we can afford to give that to our clients. Now with SMDC, you know, in just a span of 13 years, more than 13 years already, we have launched over not only 43 projects, more than 43 projects. We have sold over 150,000 units and delivered over 60,000 units. And the mission of SMDC is it commits itself to provide access to luxurious urban living through vertical villages perfectly integrated with a commercial retail environment, giving its residents to a truly cosmopolitan lifestyle. Ang dami ko sinabi. What does it mean? Ano ba yung EID? So SMDC, since we are a very big company, number 1, our properties are located in prime location because it's SM. You know, most of our properties are just walking distance from SMDC. If not, there's always commercial spaces. Maybe the first 3 floors are always commercial spaces. There's a resort-styled amenities, hotel-like lobbies. What you see is what you get, okay? If you've received already maybe a brochure from our company, that is what you get. The picture itself, that is what you're going to get because the company can afford that. I've experienced that because when I was working in the US, some of my fellow Filipino friends there would, try to invest on a property. Then they will come here for vacation and then malalaman na lang nila, oh my gosh, the property that I've invested to is not going to happen because of the developer. The developer didn't have enough money to push through the project. So you really need to choose the best company to invest into, and that is SMDC. We are the number 1 real estate company here in the Philippines, and we are going to give you 100%, 101% assurance that we're going to give you everything that we will promise. So you can also buy from different location depending on your target market. This is what I promised you guys. I'm going to explain the target market that you can have when you are going to invest in real estate. So the first target market that I'm going to show you is expats and BPO. And now I'm going to show you already digits and the figures. So for expats and BPO, if you're targeting on this kind of market, the expats, these are the foreigners who are working here for a specific period of time for a few years, so that they can work here, and sometimes they will lease a property. They will pay in a big chunk. They will pay for a year already. They don't care because they have the money. So expats and BPO, you can try to look into our properties in EDSA Boni, the one that I showed you earlier, Light 2. It's only the starting price is only 14,000 monthly. We have in Makati, Mandaluyong, and of course, these are all Makati na, Mint, Red, and Lush. So starting rate 14,000, 22,000, 26,000. How much is that? Only around $300, and we can definitely afford this one. Now, we also have the local market. These are, maybe young professionals working in these locations. We have in Parañaque, Novaliches, Pasig, Cainta. And look at the figures, 14, 12,000 only, 10,000 only, $200 only for you to have this passive income, and it's gonna create your wealth in the future. I know these places, they are continuously developing, so make sure na you start now, cause it's gonna go higher and higher as time goes by, because the Philippines is, continuously growing and developing. And of course, we have also the student market. This is good also. Okay, so this is in Cavite and Dasmariñas. We have Green to Residences, which is just few minutes away from De La Salle University, Dasmariñas. So why is it also a good market? Because when you target students, you target long-term tenants. Okay, so once a student decided to rent on your property, they're gonna be there up until they graduate, first year to fourth year, and there will be always students. So pag nakagraduate na si student, then we have freshmen again to rent on your property. So this one is also good because this is very stable. And with Green to Residences, it's only 14,000 monthly. We also have the vacationers. This one is when you want your property to be daily rented. So for vacationers, we have in MOA, Sucat, and Las Piñas. So these are properties na kapag nagstay ka dito, it's like you are in a resort, you are in a hotel. You don't need to pay a lot of money for Okada, for Nobu Hotel. You can just, rent for a day here, and you're going to enjoy a vacation. So we have sale 26, 25, 8,000. Again, look at the figures. It's very possible. $250 is, it's possible. You can do this. And that's it. That is the target market. And maybe the last advice that I can give you is have as many golden goose that lays the golden egg. What does it mean? Okay, try to think of it. The beauty of real estate investment, the more you have it, the more golden eggs you have, the more and the faster you will create your future. Maybe you can retire early, and the more golden eggs, the more, the more wealth you are creating for yourself. And maybe you are thinking right now, this is, this is not the right season. It's pandemic. There's a lot of things happening. Parang it's not right to invest right now because we're still under a pandemic season. Think outside a box, because businessmen do this. Successful people do this. They always think about the box. Actually, this pandemic season is the perfect time for you to invest into a property. Why? Because this is gonna be all over soon. We are all being vaccinated, and we will live our normal life soon. And when you invest now, when you invest today, you're going to be one of the lucky people, the blessed, super blessed people to be reaping all the benefits of, having this kind of the investment. You will be the first one to reap all the benefits after all this pandemic that's happening right now. So, of course, most importantly, start and get it going. Okay, let's not delay creating wealth for our future. Let's think this time. Let's think about ourselves. Okay, let's think about our future. Let's start and get it going. Again, there's a saying, the best time was 5 years ago. So just start now and get it going. Okay, and yes, that's it. Again, my name is Eid. You can just call me Eid. I will always be here to assist and help you when you have, questions. And since we are a small group, maybe we're gonna open it for maybe questions. If you have questions, we have our associate sales director. You have me right here. So I hope this was a fruitful day for all of you. I hope you learned something, and I hope after this presentation, you were able to redesign how you think about, real estate investment. Again, thank you, everyone. If you have questions, please let us know. Thank you.